Okay, so this evening, well, first of all, welcome to October Reiki Circle. This evening, we are diving into a bit of shadow work, and we're going to be focusing on an area that can be particularly strong for us this time of year. So, Ayurvedically speaking, we're coming towards that end period of Vata season where we can find our anxiety is a little bit higher than usual, and we can feel a little bit more pulled around by fear. Let me just let Elizabeth in. Let me check. She joined okay. Yeah, Elizabeth, lovely. Welcome. So, this evening, we're doing a bit of shadow work around this fear because fear is often one of those things that we want to avoid, but to move through it, it's best to confront it head on. And so I'll be guiding you through a couple of different ways that we can do this. So we're going to do a little bit of journaling just to bring up and bring into our awareness, bring into our consciousness that which is operating under the surface that perhaps we haven't seen. Because fear is a sneaky one, right? It can be really sneaky and it can disguise itself in excuses. It can disguise itself in us putting things off or telling ourselves things like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have the energy. I'm too old. I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I've got a big long list of ones that I can draw on should I need to. And those things just, I can sabotage myself around. But on the other side of fear is access to greater parts of ourself, access to our potential. And I don't even particularly like that word because I think it sounds really corporate. But if we live in fear, we keep what's available to us very small instead of giving ourselves that opportunity to expand and experience newness and experience something different. So we're going to be doing that, as I say, initially through a bit of journaling so that we can bring those things up to the surface. We can start to look at them. I'll then be guiding you through a self Reiki practice. And if you're not Reiki trained or have had no experience of energy medicine, do not worry. I will be guiding you through it. It will be really simple. And all I ask is that you go into it with an open heart, an open mind, and just be really curious, right? I'm not going to tell you what to believe around any of it, but just allow yourself to play with it. Allow yourself to just be in it and see what you experience. I'll then be guiding us through a little journey so that we can start integrating some of those shadows that might be hiding on the other side of our fear. And then we'll do a little integration exercise at the end so that we can find out how we can keep these parts of us safe and vibrant now that we're owning them a little bit more fully. So hopefully that all sounds really good to you. So what I would invite you to do is take a moment to just center yourself. As I cleanse our space, maybe gently closing your eyes and allowing your awareness to come to the breath. Noticing that gentle rise and fall. And we're not trying to change the breath in any way. We're just allowing the sensations to bring us back to the present moment, out of the head, back into the body. And as you allow yourself to come into this present moment, maybe taking a moment to consider, what intention would you like to set for yourself this evening? What energy do you wish to bring into this? What mindset? And what do you wish to leave in this here and now? What are you leaving behind for the next hour or so? Maybe popping down from your mind any worries, anything on the to-do list. Maybe seeing if you can allow your muscles to soften just a little bit more. Relaxing around the eyes. Loosening the jaw. Allowing those shoulders to melt away from the ears. And I invite you now to pick up your journal and pen. As I'm going to be sharing some questions with you. For you to just take a few minutes to consider. And there's 3 questions initially. The first one is, what fears are holding me back? The next question is, what would I do if I was not afraid? And the final one is, how will this fear, if not overcome, affect the next year, 5 years, 10 years? And I'd encourage you to, one, trust what comes up, but also see if you can expand your awareness of fear to include all areas of life. Your relationships, your material world, your health and well-being, your spiritual world, your finances or money, your happiness and sense of purpose. And I'm going to give you a moment to reflect. Just another minute or two. And I would invite you to see if you can just pick one fear that you wish to work on this evening. Knowing that you can use the replay of this to address all the other ones that came up too. And when you've identified that one fear that you wish to overcome, I invite you to come back to that place of eyes closed and just begin to notice where you feel that fear in the body. And start to get curious with the sensation of it inside you. How big is it? Is it just a tiny speck of sensation, or does it expand across a large area? Does it have a shape, a color, a form? Is there a weight to this emotion, this fear? And I invite you to place a hand in that area of the body and place your other hand on that lower abdomen, that belly area, below the belly button. And take a moment to come back to the rise and fall of the breath. Allow it to steady you. Connecting you back to that centered place within. And I invite you now to use your breath to breathe a healing light into this area of fear. Using nothing but your intention. And that healing light you may feel as a warmth or a coolness. You may feel a tingling sensation. You may feel a gentle lightening or a dissolving of that fear. You may feel it as a sensation of love pouring into you with each breath you take. You may feel none of these things, And that's also perfect. But continuing to breathe that healing light into the fear that resides in the body, in the energy system. And we don't need to worry about getting this right or doing it correctly. Just trusting that you know how to do this. Breathing in that light, that healing energy. And just watching what happens without attachment to outcome. And if your intuition is calling you to breathe healing light into anywhere else in the body, or to fill up the whole body and aura with this beautiful loving light, feel free to do that now. Allowing that energy to seep into every pore, every cell, healing and rejuvenating. And you may begin to feel all of the muscles softening, all of the worries gently sliding away. You may begin to feel a little bit more energized. Whilst remaining incredibly relaxed. As this healing light fills you up from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, expanding outwards. Until you can almost feel that glow happening from the inside out. And I invite you now to imagine in your mind's eye, drawing on your imagination, not worrying about how you do this, but imagining a door in front of you. And you may see the door, you may just get a sense of it, or just know that it's there. You may even be able to feel the texture of the door, the feeling of the door handle. You may notice the color, or intuitively just have a sense of what that would be. But before we open this door, you need to know that on the other side is the version of you who has already overcome this fear, who's already moved past it, who no longer allows it to hold her back. Whenever you feel ready, I invite you to open that door and meet that version of you now. And before noticing her, I invite you to have a look around and see where she resides. What is her environment? And trust whatever comes through for you, no need to overthink. Allowing your imagination to show you. And I invite you to look at this version of you now. This version of you that's on the other side. Notice what's different. Is it her posture that is changed? The happiness that radiates from her? Or is it what goes on in the inside? Have the doubts lessened? Is the inner talk more positive, more kind? And I invite you to go to her now, if you haven't already, and ask any questions you need to about how she did it, what support she had, how she managed to move through this fear, what actions she took. Allow her guidance to come to you now. And you begin to notice the silhouettes of people that are stood behind her. A huge group of people that have been supporting her from the other side. And you may recognize some faces. You may see some spirit guides or angels that you work with. Or these may be entirely new to you. But they've come here this evening to remind you that you don't have to do this alone. And you can feel that support. You can feel that energy infusing into you. That power of community. Allow it to fill you up. Creating that sense of inner fearlessness. And you look back at this version of you who's already done it. You notice there is a difference. Her energy is different. There's a different feeling that comes from her. And she leans forward and puts her arms out, ready to embrace you. But as she does, she begins to merge into who you are now. And you feel that energy shift. Notice where you feel that. Maybe those ego concerns feel less important. Others' judgment feels less of a concern. Fear of failure no longer seems to trouble you. Take a moment to enjoy this new inner confidence that you can feel coursing through you. And you can take a moment to thank the community of guides or ancestors that joined with you this evening. Thank them for their ongoing support, for always being there. And letting them know it's now time for you to go. Now ready to face those fears. And after you've said your goodbyes, you can open that door, closing it behind you and coming back into the body. Noticing again that gentle rise and fall of the breath, and allowing that energy to settle into you, that energy you brought back through the door. And I invite you, with your eyes still closed, to gently begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Ever so slowly, allowing your eyelids to flutter open. And when you feel ready, picking up your journal, recording anything you wish to remember from that journey and energy experience. Before we come on to our final questions for this evening, And now it's time to think about how we can integrate this energy. Now, fear is generally best overcome through action, through facing the thing, through not shying away. So our final questions to consider tonight are: what actions could I take to allow me to overcome this fear? Whose support will help me overcome this? What am I committing to here? And how will this impact the next year, 5 years, and 10 years? And just a couple more minutes on these questions. And I invite you to end with a definitive statement of what you will be doing next. That commitment, that promise to self, to carry this energy forward into waking life. And I invite you now to put down your journal, knowing you can come back to all of this later on should you wish to. But for now, coming back to your eyes closed, and allow yourself to see you taking that action, the energy you take into it, how you deal with those little excuses and doubts that will no doubt emerge. And you may see this, you may just feel this, you may just get a sense of this or know it's happening. But envisioning that action unfolding and the fearlessness and boldness that you embody as you do it. And as you see it happening or feel and sense that certainty begins to sink in. That knowing that as you can vision this, it will come to pass if you choose to. And making that promise to yourself now. And a promise to yourself is not made lightly. And let's take a moment of gratitude for the guides and energy that you received this evening. For the wisdom that came through for you. for the shifts that you experienced and the commitments that you've made. And extending that gratitude to yourself for showing up, for making the time. Extending it further to the other lovely people that have joined you here this evening or are watching on replay, that have shared this experience with you and have experienced those shifts too. And the gratitude for all of those that came before us and passed down this wisdom, these teachings that have allowed us to experience it here tonight. Maybe saying a little thank you, thank you, thank you, whether that's internally or out loud. And I'm feeling that sense of how lucky are we? So for those of you watching on replay, this is where we're going to love and leave you, as we're going to be opening up the circle for sharing, for anyone that wishes to share their experience here this evening. If you've got any questions or anything came up for you, then feel free to reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, I will see you soon. Take care.